Now, but can you just go ahead and say and spell your name right quick and the name of your business so I can put all that in the video for you.
Okay, Rashid Davis, RASHEID, head of the class, barbershop, beauty salon, and beauty supplies.
Okay. Another shirt.
Yeah, you can get one over there.
All right, you all go ahead.
Okay.
How long have you been living in Canton?
Well, I've been living in Canton maybe since I've been I think like 6 years old. I moved here from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. What do you know about, for the workers wanting to unionize at Nissan, and have you know any personal stories about the workers in there? Maybe them getting threatened at Nissan?
Well, I've heard stories about, the guys come in that work at the Nissan plant, and they've, explained to me as far as like with unions and stuff like that, that Nissan really doesn't want their workers to be with the union. And they, scared if they try to get with the union, they'll get fired. Me myself, I had never worked at the Nissan plant because if I can, go into detail, when I first moved back here in 2001, I had seen the new houses on King Ranch Road that they had developed, and there's a lot of good people, and husband and wife, and girlfriend, boyfriend, and kids, family, they were staying there. But after some time, I think maybe after a year or so, Nissan plant laid a lot of people off, and a lot of those people were staying out in those housing complexes, and they lost their homes. A lot of people around Canton, they lost their homes. They had to, how would I say, downsize.
Okay.
And the rent was so high that they actually increased the rent out there, so the people, they couldn't afford it anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was one of the reasons why I never, I wanted something that I can build off of, like I have my own business now. Right. I wanted something that I can build off of, because I couldn't stand to go through what those people had went through.
Right. And you mentioned today, a lot of people got laid off. So do you know about job security, and what would you say about that? How would you relate that to a lot of people getting laid off?
Well, it was a very hard time. I think it was around time with the recession. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was a hard time around here. It made me unhappy to see so many people unhappy. Black people as well as myself. That it was just like the community was going down, everything was going down, and it was a hard time for the people of Canton, really.
Right. Yeah, but with the job security, do you feel like it's something that the workers should have? Knowing that day in, day out, or week in, week out, that I have a job whether the economy is down or bad.
Yes.
Do you think all workers should have that feeling of job security?
Yes, I think they should, because as an adult, you're raising your family, you would want to have security on your job, because if you get fired, then that means that you lose your home, you lose your car, and you possibly can lose your family.
Right.
Yes. With the separation, some had to go here, some had to go there.
And being that you do have, your barbershop and all, what would you say about safety in the workplace? How important is safety in the workplace?
I would say about safety with my own shop here. In general.
Your own shop and in general?
Safety in the workplace, I think, is important, because a lot of times I heard the guys, they got hurt. Like, if I could tell a story, this guy come up the other day, he fell off a ladder, I think he broke his leg or something. And he broke his leg. He said that they, paid him after 1 week, but after that they didn't pay him anymore. So, he has a broken leg and he's jobless. So this could be, that's real hard. Yeah.
And being that safety is an important part of a workplace, do you feel that all workers should have the right to voice their opinion without being threatened?
Yes, I do. Because I think that people should have a voice. If the people don't have a voice, then they don't know what need to be corrected, or and what's wrong. If the people don't have a voice and be able to speak up about things, you can't correct things.
Okay. And just another question: what do you know about unions? Good or bad? anyone that works for a union company?
Well, actually, I haven't. Now I have like my friend. He actually works at the Nissan plant now. My friend that walked in, he actually works out there now. The thing with a union, I think a union is to make sure everybody have fair pay, you know, health insurance and stuff like that right there. So I think that's very important.
Okay, as a community and a citizen of Canton, what would you like to see, you know, improve? What ways can Nissan contribute to helping the Canton community improve?
Well, here what I would like to see is just more activities for the kids, to let these kids know that they can have a brighter future. You know, without you know, they graduate from high school, they really don't have a future but working at the Nissan plant. And then, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want my child to grow up and to think the biggest thing that he can do is work at the Nissan plant around here. So I think that it would be a great thing with more educational things that these kids can get off into. I know a lot of kids like to play sports, but everybody doesn't make it in sports. And then that doesn't need to be a dream that a child has, that I can either try to, you know, play sports or be on the Nissan, be out there on the Nissan. So, and I think, you know, with the pay that they getting paid, some of the guys, they get paid good, and some of the guys, they work for the temp staff and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not much here. It's not any activities for younger people to do. It's not any activities for older people to do. And it's not any activities for families to do together. You know, as far as like, we have the parks, they have baseball games, you know, they like the summer league. They had the summer league now, which a lot of kids do participate in the softball and the hardball teams over there. So those are like the little events that we have through the week that we participate in. But, you know, other than that, I really would like to see something like, you know, like a skating rink, or, you know, just something that would just kind of bring the people together where everybody can have a good time and get some type of, you know, form some type of unity within, you know, the community.
Okay. I have one more question. That would be, you saying that, you know, you want to see unity in the community as a citizen, as a business owner, and you having a voice as a community. How would you, you know, use that opportunity and power to help create the community buzz to stand behind the Nissan workers?
Me, myself, anything possible for, you know, the black race, and not just me, just black race, but the black community here in Canton, Mississippi. The unity of the people here is very important. I think back, you know, I'm like 35 years old. When I was coming up, it was more, you know, you respect your elders, you know, and you know, you get out and you try to, you know, work. Nowadays, kids don't have jobs to get out and work. You don't have kids, you know, trying to succeed and go to college, you know, mainly because over there to the high school, some of these kids are trouble kids. And then instead of placing these trouble kids and these kids that have problems at home into GED class and stuff like that, they just, you know, just letting them out on the street. So to me, that's non-productive. He's not gonna do anything with his life. You know, it'll be 2-3 years down the line before he can, you know, get himself back together. And one thing about around here is basically prisons make more money off of people being in jail than they being out here. And what I mean by that is you can work at the Nissan plant, I think basically what they getting paid like $10 an hour or something like that, $10, $12 an hour, basic person. Okay.
The temp workers, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you these figures here. You get paid like $35,000 or something a year for each inmate that the state holds. Okay, that means that every 30 or so people is $1 million. So you had to think of how many people is in the penitentiary, how many people is out on parole, how many people is out on probation. So that is the biggest business here in Mississippi right now. That's the biggest business in this town. The county jail is the biggest business here. CMU is, you know, they own the town. Because black people here, I'm gonna show you what I mean. We don't, like on the square, in Canton Square, you don't have black businesses on the square. you might have them on down a little bit or on up a little bit, but you don't have them on the square. So the blacks doesn't have a reason to go to the square to shop, because there's nothing but antique shops and, you know, flower shops and stuff like that. And then there's nothing for these kids to do, which is actually nice buildings and stuff up there, you know. And like with the Boys and Girls Club, I think like a couple months ago, or maybe like 6 months ago, they was gonna close it down, and they kind of raised money to keep it open. So if that Boys and Girls Club would have closed, what the kids wouldn't have anything to do. You know, I'm talking about anything. So basically, like around this town, I really would like to just see black people come together for one common goal. And you know, this is kind of take our neighborhoods back, you know, all the street stuff going on and stuff like that, it can be avoided. You know, blacks can actually take back these neighborhoods. You can make sure that drug dealers don't sell drugs, right? So the thing is, and with the Nissan plant, it didn't bring anything that made the town, you know, have people that they can succeed in life. Really, like, you know, you work out there, and then, you know, you with the temp staff, you might get hired permanently, and then, you know, they lay people off. So when they lay people off, you know, hey, you know, a lot of good people, you know, they catch the bad end of the stick. But you are depending on that to raise your family. Yeah.
I have a question right quick.